Well, hello everyone, this is CACM1, and in this video I'm going to show you how I did the awesome helicopter effect in my previous video. If you haven't seen it, click this link, see it, or click the link in the description, but you should see that first and then come back. So, in this tutorial will be divided in two parts. Part 1 will be the 3D, actually creating the helicopter, and the second part will be the compositing, video editing, all that stuff. So let's start. I'm going to use 3ds Max. I'm actually in my Windows partition. I'm using VMware Fusion. It's a cool program for using virtual machines of other operating systems on your Mac without having to boot up that operating system. You can use it right inside Mac. But I'm using 3D Max. You can use others like Blender, Maya. There's others, but 3ds Max and Blender are, in my opinion, around the best. So open your helicopter, or you can make this yourself, or you can download it from a website. I got it from a website. It's called turbosquid.com, and they have a ton of free stuff, and this was included in one of the free. Just type helicopter, maybe I'll post a link. Just type helicopter and it should appear. So open it, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is just take the helicopter and select what you want to rotate. In this case, the propellers. So just create a selection by clicking and dragging, and you can do this multiple times until you get it right. So that's about right. Since I already did this, just select it and go ahead and click the rotate tool and just take this and rotate it. So you see my selection was kind of wrong, so it didn't go well, but you just have to select it properly and it will rotate accordingly. So you can see my keyframes. Oh, disappeared. Select this again. Okay, now you can see the keyframes. I made some keyframes. You should leave some space of nothing before you start animating, and then start keyframing, because that'll give you some flexibility when it comes time to edit. So just you can just start keyframing by first do what I just showed you. Select the propellers, and you can either choose auto key or set key. I prefer set key. Just click the set key and just leave it as is. Move it to wherever you want it to spin, and just spin the propellers, and do this like 2 or 3 times, and just copy and paste keyframes in the timeline, so you don't have to do that every time. So you can do that by selecting, just click and drag inside the timeline, and it will select the keyframes for you, and press shift and drag, and here you can see the keyframes have been copied. Just do that. I'm going to do that because since I already did that, and just be careful when you're doing this, because you can leave there can be like a space between keyframes and it can get ugly, so be careful about that. And see what this is. Postpone. So now that you have that ready, go and set a camera. You can see the camera, and depending on your video, you're gonna want to adjust the lighting. And by lighting, I mean you can do this simply just by adding a couple of lights Let me see if you can see it. There should be a light. Yes, here it is. Add a light depending from your video. And since in my video the light was kind of coming from the top right corner, I added a light more or less to that distance, but of course it's more distant in the program, but it looks more or less the same. Preview that until you get what you want, and just come into render setup, and change it. It normally is selected single. Just change it to range and start at 0 and change this number to whatever you want it to end. Let's see, custom output size, width 1920 by 1080. You can do more, you can do less, whatever you want. Options, I clicked atmosphere, effects, displacement, video color check, and super black. Super black helped a little bit with the blacks. It didn't do much, but it helped a little bit, so I just left it. Advanced lighting, use advanced lighting, computer advanced lighting when required. The file, just click files, and go to setup. Here we go. Change the compression type to, you can choose animation or PNG. Choose that. And one more thing, go to renderer, and in the object motion blur, click apply, and do about around 10 samples. The motion blur makes the propellers look more like realistic, because you know you're never gonna see propellers that look perfectly moving. You know, they're gonna be a little blurred. So do the samples to whatever you like. I did 10 because 10 looks pretty realistic. And in image motion blur, click apply, transparency, and that's about it. Change the views to camera 1. So don't change it to perspective, because you're not gonna get the look that you want. You wanna render what the camera's seeing. So just do that and click render. I'm not gonna do that since I already did that, and I'm gonna show you how the video ended up. So here you can see the helicopter. Looks pretty good. Let's play. It's not playing real time because of all the things I have in the background, but looks great. As you can see, the motion blur, what I was telling you about, looks realistic. So this has been the end of part 1, but part 2 will be coming soon. Thanks for watching.